Hey, welcome to Hanson Legacy Farm. Darren and I are outside enjoying this beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Texas. The high is in the 70s.
Yeah, what a change, right?
It is about a 40-degree difference or so.
Yeah, lock us in some of this, right?
Yes, can we just keep it for a while?
Yeah.
But we are out here getting our garden ready for the winter and also to put the fabric on there. We want to change out some things. I'll let Darren tell you what we're going to be doing. He bought something for us to use for the garden. So
I purchased a while back and I've had it in the garage for a while. I bought 2 hoop benders, one for 4-foot hoops, and that we'll use for our 4-foot beds. Primarily right now for the winter time, we got our cabbage planted, we got our broccoli and our pak choy, and we have some cauliflower we're going to try to plant. Some other things that pretty much have come to the surmise of the cutworms, the broccoli, the moss, the beetles, and you name it, everything that likes to munch on brassicas. Pretty much
they enjoyed it.
Yeah, they decimated our broccoli.
We didn't get any of it, but
we got a couple big
it.
giant heads of broccoli this year, and they were delicious, but we didn't get a whole lot after that because the beetles, they destroyed it. It looked like somebody shot it with a shotgun. It was just, there was holes everywhere. So the intention is we also bought, and you've seen that in our prior video, that we bought some of the bug netting or the white net.
I don't think I really updated very well on that. It was a very short clip of the netting. We'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But we have the A-frames on it with chicken wire, and it's not the best setup, but it's what we had at the time. So Darren's gonna be bending some of the galvanized poles to put over it.
And they pretty much standardize it. So I'm using 1/2-inch electrical conduit. So with a pipe bender, and I don't know if Sharon can get that in.
Let me get you around where you can see what he's doing.
So what I have here is electrical conduit. I bought this out of the electrical aisle at Home Depot, wherever they have all their supply, their conduits, their plastic conduits, their metal conduits, so on. So with this pipe bender, it's set up to take a 10-foot or any length really, but it's set up for to make a 4-foot hoop. You take a 10-foot stick, you start over on this side of the hoop, this being the 4-foot bender. This one over here I'm going to use coming up, it's a 12-foot bender, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But right now the 4-foot bender, you take a 10-foot and we'll start on this side. But what I've done, because I've already tested out a couple, so I started out with just flushing the end and coming around, and it kind of made more of a round shape more than I wanted. So then I backed off and said, all right, let's do 9 inches. So then we went 9 inches, and it's still a little bit too much arc at the bottom. So my next attempt, I've taken my Sharpie and my measuring tape and I've marked it 12 inches down, and that's going to be I think that's going to get us where we need to be. But we'll see here in a minute. So. But the whole design of these is that we can actually put them in our beds. We can take them back out when we want to, because they'll just line them up, push them in the ground, and we'll space them out about 2 foot apart, and we'll be able to use the stretch. The bug netting, shade cloth, greenhouse plastic, clear plastic.
Right.
And so it allows us to be able to try to be prepared for the season as we go through. And then also, what we noticed with our A-frames, the way Sharon what she was mentioning a while ago, is they tear a lot of stuff up. When we try to pull them over it, they're a little bit more difficult to work with. They worked well because when we first started using them, we actually just doubled up screen.
Right.
Some dark screen, and it worked pretty well.
Just regular window screen, yes.
Yeah, and it worked well. Kind of more like a shade cloth.
Put a shade on it in itself.
And a bug protectant too.
Yeah.
The only problem is that we put chicken wire on the end, which allowed the bug to still get in. So with this, it's more round. It's going to be not going to have as many areas to snag up on your fabric.
Right. So why don't we take a look at those and show them what it looks like?
Yeah. And there's another. I seen another video, and I'll have to get that name. It's a gentleman I think he's out of Michigan, but he does agricultural school, or more or less a gardening school, and he showed one where he actually took a hose clamp with a carabiner on the bottom and clamped it on the bottom right above the ground, where you can actually we're facing out, where you can run your cloth, your plastic down to that, and you can actually take bungee cords and hook it over the carabiner over to the other side, or up and down, however it works, to keep it on there without having to really, and it allows you to slide that poly up inside that bungee strap. So we're going to try that also. I just got to get the carabiner, so I don't have it yet. That'll be another video.
All right, well, let's walk over here and show them what this looks like now, because I didn't do very well of updating them on what this looks like.
Yeah, so I moved my weight off of here already, so you can see already they're starting to snag what we're trying to do here. So
right, well, this one doesn't have the chicken wire on it. This is the one we had the screen on.
And you can see right here where it's already starting to pull apart a little bit. And
right, because of the staples.
Might have had some help from our furry friends.
Yeah.
To get up there and rest anywhere, so they won't want to get on it. So.
But I did catch this morning, I caught one of the pharaoh cats on top of this one. Kind of gently remove her from here. But anyways, this is what this one looks like. It has a chicken wire on it, and it kind of snags it. So hoping that this netting is going to help us. So here's an example of what we were using. Just the plastic plumbing.
Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch PVC.
Right.
And it's scheduled 40, but anybody that's dealt with PVC for any length of time knows that stuff is not UV protected, and after a while
it's going to start breaking
getting
down.
chalky, and it'll just crack and it'll break.
Right.
And it's just not really designed for being above ground. It's made for being inside walls or inside a slab. Another thing it will allow us to is we can, once we put our garden in-ground garden, we can actually set up a little Caterpillar 4-foot hoop over that. Wherever we're at, we can just take these things and push them in the ground, and then build a little hoop over it to get us through a winter or get us an earlier start in the season.
A quicker start, quicker jump on it.
These things they're going to be handy to have in storage to be able to use whenever we need them.
Right.
So it's going to give us a little bit more preparedness, I guess, or a little more tools in our tool bag. So.
Right. Okay. So you ready to get over there and show them how the pipe bender works?
Yeah. And this is one of the tomatoes we recovered here.
Oh yeah. Darren cut that little tomato plant down. I'll have to show you the rest of our tomato plants. This weather's really helping them spring back.
I've taken the hook bender and I've fastened it to the 2x6. Then I've taken the 2x6 and I've fastened it to my sawhorses. So I tried to do it first when I was just screwed it to the board, but it wasn't. It's going to need quite a bit of support. I've seen some of the videos I've seen. They'll fasten it down to a picnic table. Some of them they fasten it up on the wall, high up on the side of a building. You know, you can, however you want to do it. It's got to be secure to where you, when you start putting some torque on it, really pressing on it, it's going to want to move around on you. So what I'll do is I'll take this, try to line up my 1 foot mark to the end of that as much as I can, and it's got a little channel right here that you can actually follow, and you just follow that, come on around. Then you can move it on around a little more, make sure it's still in where it needs to be. And the other thing is you don't want to move it up and down like this either as you're going. You got to make sure that you keep it straight, parallel with this. Because if not, you'll have one that's kind of looks more like an S or like a pretzel. So I'm going to put it in, that should be in center if I hold that. Make sure I got it straight here. Get a little more. You just got to kind of work it around. Take a little bite at a time. Coming up on my last one here. you can push it down in the ground as far as you would like to make it as tall as you want. You can even take some, if you want to extend it, I actually bought some couplings that will actually extend this with another piece of pipe. So you can add on to it to make it longer, take a couple short pieces, another 2 foot if you wanted to on either end. That way you can raise the height of it up some if you wanted to. Or you can make it lower by just driving it in the ground. So still a little more roundness than I would like. So you can kind of bend it back, work with it a little bit. It's not going to be perfect, but you can definitely you can work on it and get it where you need it. So, but that's what we're going to use. I think this will work out well for us. So that's how we are doing the 4-foot hoops. So back to the 12-foot hoop bender. For this, you actually use the top rail for like a cyclone fence, and they're actually wedged together on the one end into the other. So you would take 2 10-foot pieces and you'll bend them individually, and then you'll put them together in the middle, and they'll make a 12-foot hoop. So you put 2 10-footers, you bend them, join them in the middle, put a Tech screw in the middle on either side to hold it secure, and then you'll stand them up. And with these, you'll have to have a stake in the ground to hold them down.
Right.
You won't be able to push them in the ground.
This is the 12-foot hoop bender.
You see the difference in the arc on it?
Yeah.
So this is made for, smaller spans. It's going to give you the 4-foot width. This right here is made for the long span. So you're going to take 2 10-foots. By the time you put them together, you're going to make 2 6-foot arced pieces basically to join together to make 12-foot, and then you're going to have your down size, your arc that comes down also.
And you could probably make these yourself, but we actually purchased them from Johnny Seed.
Yep.
So we're going to finish up getting these pipe bent so that we can replace this top on this bed right here with the netting on it, and then put the netting back over that. Got a little twisted on us, so Darren's going to kind of
Hold it right there.
straighten it out just a little bit. But when you get it in your garden, you can kind of fix it where it won't be twisted.
That's why it's important that you keep it completely straight when you pull it around, because you'll have it a little twisted, but it's all right. It's still workable.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do, are we doing one more?
No, we got 3 over there. And
3?
So
And then 2 right here, so that's 5?
Yeah.
All right.
There it is. Straight now.
Let's get you moved around here.
Do
See
this
what
one
we're
or that
doing.
one? Which one we're going to
This one, I thought.
Okay.
Or we can do this one
Yeah,
since
it
this
don't
one
matter.
doesn't have the chicken
We're
wire
going
on
to
it.
have to do both of them.
Well, we do this one first since it doesn't have the chicken wire on it.
So you want to take the cloth off first, or you want to make it maybe better? Let's see if we can take this cloth off without tearing it up anymore.
This is going to be the challenging part. Getting the netting off without making lots of holes in it. Uh-oh, wait a second.
Hold on, Sharon, it's up top. This thing's been patched up several times. I think we built this about 5 years ago. And this old bed's been around for a while. That's another thing in our plans is to actually tear all these beds down, and once we fix this out here, put a perimeter fence around our garden and put some animal-proof fencing up.
So where are we going to plant these few? That's our cauliflower. In this bed right here?
Yeah, we can either plant it in that or we can plant it down here. Let me get the let me get my measuring tape.
So how far apart are we going to put these?
2 foot 3. So the bed actually can have foot long right there. There's a 12-inch mark right there. That's it. The 12 inches all the way up. Where's the 12 inch? Kind of put the 12-inch mark about the same. You can push it down a little bit more. If you can't, that would. I'll get it in there.
I can't push it down anymore. You'll have to push it down.
This one's going to go right beside that center bed. I don't think this one has a 12-inch mark on it. We'll just have to eyeball it in. It's going to go, yeah, you only have one mark over there. So. And this one here really need to go on the end, go on the inside. Maybe.
Looks like a chuck wagon. Especially when we get the fabric over it.
The fabric's going to be way too big this time.
That's okay. I have plenty
You may be able to double it. Well, you have to double it with all the holes in it.
Right. I like it being a little bit big though.
Yep, we can.
So we'll have plenty of
So we're going to flip it.
the wind's blowing it off.
Flip it on this one.
We're putting the C-clamps on there right now.
Yeah. have a
to kind of hold it on.
get another clamp. More clamps.
Okay, we're gonna get this all finished up.
That's a quick way to make some hoops and
yeah,
for your garden. It's just
yeah,
and we can move them. I mean, if we get tired of them and you want to use them somewhere else, or.
So anyways, that's why we bought the hoop bender. Also too, this winter when we have some things planted in here that we might need to cover with the plastic, make a little greenhouse, we can do that too. So.
Yeah. And these electrical conduits come in a 10-foot or 10-piece bundle. So, and I think they were a little bit over $5 a piece. So I think
right.
so that's enough to do two hoops or 2 8-foot by 4-foot beds. So that's not bad. I mean,
no,
considering, but you have the expense if you can make your own bender instead of having to buy the bender. I mean, you can really.
Yeah, the bender was kind of expensive though.
Yeah, I think it was $100, a little bit over $100. If you're handy enough where you can, lay it out and cut it with a saber saw
or just
jigsaw.
have time to do it, because
Or
Darren could make one.
I could have made one.
Time. He bought it because of the time. But anyways, we're going to get this finished. Hey, Darren and I want to say thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate the time that you spend with us. We hope our videos are some way informative or at least entertaining. Anyway, we want to wish y'all a wonderful evening. Get out there and plant something. You never know when you're going to need to have those victory gardens going again. God bless everybody.
God bless. Have a blessed evening.
God bless. See you later.
That's a buck. Got a little rack on it. Probably about a little 4-point.